All right, so everyone, welcome back to the Polyhedral Crew. Tonight we're playing Dresden Files Accelerated, our game, The Accords, Distrust in the District. We're continuing things along pretty well. A couple of things before we get started with a recap and then getting into the game. As you can see, John has not joined us tonight. John is feeling under the weather. We want to make sure that he is able to rest and recuperate, so we send him good feelings and good medicine to feel much better. So, John, if you're at home watching, great. If you're not, I hope you're resting up.
Eat your leafy greens and drink plenty of water.
Yes. As a result of John not being here, you'll see that in his little character card down below, you'll see that I've listed something called a missing PC aspect. This is something that I do from time to time with games. So player characters are built kind of like cohesively as a whole generally, and people are dependent upon for certain things. Fate isn't quite as role dependent as some other role-playing games. However, there are times whenever the advantages that a PC offer can be useful. And so what I've done tonight is John's character Hux is going to be sort of hand-waved tonight. It's going to be like, well, he's there, but we're not really going to interact with him. But he will be able to influence the way that things go with an aspect called criminal connections. I felt that best kind of represented what he would bring to the table for tonight's session. If it gets used, great. It is compellable and it is usable by the three of you for any role that you're going to make. You just need to figure out a way that Hux's criminal connections sort of help you out. So that's a nice replacement. The next thing that I want to talk about is that we have with, I believe it was last session that we played, we announced that we have launched our Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/polyhedralcrew, you will see that we have a couple of tiers of rewards. We're looking for those adventurous people who want to be our first Patreons. And if you subscribe at the $5 or higher level, I actually got printed a series of magnets. And I'm going to be getting printed a series of stickers to go along with that. So if you subscribe at the $5 or higher level, I will be mailing you some post and a handwritten note that says thank you. And maybe my 4-year-old child will also draw you a picture. No promises there, but she likes to color and paint. So, and I have to get rid of it somehow. You'll enjoy it. You'll like it. It'll be great.
I'll put it on my fridge with the magnet.
Yeah, just put it up there with the magnet. Oh, other end. With a magnet. So I've got a couple on the fridge right now. All right. So just as a reminder, let's see, we have Evie. Mallory is playing Evie. And Christopher is playing Michelle. And Ryan is playing Ravi. Is there anything that you guys would like to promote before we start the show and get into recap and then the actual game itself? We'll start with Ryan. Is there anything you want to shout out?
Follow me on Twitter at Loremaster Ryan. Yay.
All one word?
Yeah, all one word, Loremaster Ryan.
Awesome. I've been working on a website for the show, so hopefully we'll be able to have bios and all that great jazz, probably over the holiday when I actually have some time. Christopher, is there any shout out that you'd like to make?
You kind of put me on the spot here, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, it was either you or Mallory.
Right, but I didn't know you were going to be asking us for shout outs on the stream. So
well, you can say
I'd like
follow
to thank
you, or...
I'd like to thank my mother for making this all possible, and the Academy, of course.
Yes, that
would be the RPG Academy, because they actually got a lot of cool people there. If you want to listen to any good podcasts, anything on the RPG Academy is great. Full disclosure, I'm a member. My podcast is dead though, so I used to be a member, I guess. No. I don't know. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I don't know why you would want to, but I'm there. C_Beck. And happy late Thanksgiving and happy early Hanukkah and even earlier Christmas.
Awesome. Cool. Mallory, any shout out you'd like to make?
Go follow Ryan and Christopher on Twitter. I don't have one. And subscribe to our Patreon. Give us a few bucks and you'll get a cool magnet.
Awesome. Cool. All right. So, super excited about tonight's show. What do we remember from the last show? Like what's been going on? Like let's set the stage for what's happening tonight. I know that we started with Ravi being in deep with his mother.
His mom.
Yes, Mama. If we want to go backwards, Evie is going by Samantha right now, and she's being held captive as collateral damage.
By held captive, you mean like laying on the couch and like just surfing Instagram?
Yeah,
Isn't
surfing
that-
Instagram and watching some Netflix. You know.
Isn't that being held captive nowadays?
Solitary confinement.
Yep, you're all alone. Michelle is trying to get some of Hux's blood because the goblins want to find out his actual parentage. But he's not here right now, so it makes it harder.
Yeah, no, that's definitely going to be something that we're going to have to put a pin in because I don't think that's fair to Hux because I'm pretty sure that John would have something interesting to say about that particular situation. So
John always has something to say about every situation.
except for now because he doesn't have a voice. So
Yeah.
Oh, wait, he's screaming it in his head right now, telling me to mind my manners. He's my boss. My boss told me to listen to him, and he will be my boss soon. So I should shut up and let him do his thing.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be the new Errol King, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So what
In his
happened in
own
between? What happened in between, like Ravi getting yelled at by his mother and like Evie being confined to the couch?
Well, while Robbie was having an aside with his mother, the three of us were talking to Dr. Gupta about the book that we found definitely did not steal 100% legit.
Yeah. No. Totally. It was not stolen.
Yeah, definitely. Eventually, Robbie does get off the phone, and we decide to leave the book with Dr. Gupta, who I managed to get on my good side. I managed to get on his good side, I should say. He comes around to liking me rather than thinking I'm a hussy who's trying to steal away Robbie and his good sensibilities. Besides that, we do leave the book with Dr. Gupta to examine with an English translation to see if there might be any rituals inside that have not been discovered, so that it does have some latent power in it, just to basically see that it's not just like an ancient artifact that's worth a lot, but actually can do some things. We make a pit stop at our unofficial sponsor, Dunkin' Donuts. And then we decide to go visit the senator's house because Ravi left some things. I needed to get a guest list to make sure that nobody went missing. And besides that, I cannot exactly remember why else we went.
I didn't really leave things. That was just my excuse to try to get in the door.
Yeah.
Really, I wanted to just get more information as to who was working there, who stole the book, and just get the lowdown of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
I know they have you trapped since they think you're Ravi's girlfriend, and that you mean anything to
They're
Ravi.
not the only ones who think
But
that.
in reality, Ravi could just leave. Be like, I don't know these people.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he's going to do that. We'll find out tonight.
Ooh,
I
awesome.
imagine he will not leave his new friends high and dry. But I do like Ravi does know that Hux is somewhere in the house.
Yeah, the situation that
Is that right? And I think
Yes.
Michelle might be too there.
everybody's in the house.
Okay.
It's
Except
just
for
whether or
Ravi.
not they're known by the people who are in the house. Well, Ravi was at the house. So the scene, you guys decided that you were going to return back to the scene of the crime to find out what you could find out. And this led Hux and Michelle to taking sort of like the super stealthy scenic route, breaking in through the backyard, climbing up to the second floor window, climbing inside. They actually managed to rummage through the office of Neville Middleton, the public figure that it is his house, and managed to find a lot of materials. None of it was electronic. All of it was pictures taken from file folders. Apparently, this Neville Middleton is very old school. And you guys actually have an aspect called piles of information that you can make use of. Let's see. So that explains what happened to Michelle and Hux. Evie and Ravi decided to take the straightforward route. Ravi, when it came up with an excuse saying like, "Oh, well, I totally left something behind." And when Ravi gets let in, he is met by this like 6.5 foot tall, 4.5 foot wide bodyguard in a fine looking suit, like not an Armani suit, but a fine looking suit nonetheless.
But it was off the rack. It wasn't tailored or anything.
Well, it was tailored, but I mean, it wasn't a $5,000 suit. Man, now I want to do Arrested Development jokes. God bless Joe.
I have no idea what that is.
That disappoints me. All right. So anyway, basically this hulking man puts his arm around Ravi and escorts him inside with Evie in tow, basically saying like, "Ravi, we were actually about to come looking for you," and sat him down on the couch. And proceeded to tell him that, like, you know, we have like footage of what happened. It was really interesting. You know, obviously, like, you know, this item, this book of ours, was stolen from the house. We believe that you have it. Ravi basically confirmed it. He tried to lie. Ravi doesn't lie very well. Unlike Evie, who lies like nobody's business and suddenly makes up. What was the girlfriend name?
Samantha.
I should have just let her lie the whole time, and I should have never talked.
Yeah, that basically. But then we don't have an interesting game if everyone who's competent does things that they're competent at. So basically, Lloyd, that's the big thick-necked guy, alludes to Ravi that like, you know, like he's the Middletons like in charge of security, and basically tells Ravi like, "Listen, bring the book back. We'll give you $5,000 and you don't have to worry about a thing." And Ravi agrees. And as Ravi's about to leave, Lloyd says, "No, Samantha's going to stay here with us just to make sure that you come back." And the $5,000 that Ravi's going to get from the book was actually handed to Evie to hold until Ravi came back.
She's already spent it on Amazon.
You can't scan paper money to make for Amazon
Evie
gift cards.
can. Like Evie can. I have faith.
Fun fact: if you try to open up an image of a $20 bill in Photoshop, it will fail because of security.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yep.
I did not know that.
Yes, yes. Take a photograph of a $20 bill, try and open it up in Photoshop. I know that like there's a certain amount of distortion that you have to have before you're able to do that. But yeah, no, it's pretty crazy. I did it once and I'm like, oh, wow. Like, I guess I can't counterfeit that. Back to making fake driver's licenses. All right. So this is the scene where we're at. I just realized I needed to check. So in all of my preparations for tonight, I did not open up the Trello board where we were all
that's
doing
right.
stuff. So if you haven't already opened up the Trello card or Trello thing, please do so. Those of you who are watching at home, there's nothing on screen for you to look at. This is just something where we manage our our characters, who's going to go next. You may have seen it in previous episodes. I've kind of cut it just because I thought that it didn't make a lot of sense to help show on screen. I'd much rather show all of our fine looking people here instead. I'm going to move Huxley's card there. All right, cool. Got that sussed out. So we're going to begin where we left off, and we left off with Ravi. So Ravi, you have just exited the house. You've been offered $5,000 to return with this book. You know where the book is. You've got the keys to your van. What's Ravi going to do in this situation? Like right now, he's left Evie behind in this
Sure,
dangerous situation.
But Ravi also knows that Evie is perfectly capable of taking care of herself and getting out of the situation, probably, and also that Michelle and Hux are in the house. So like, he's not like terribly worried about her safety. Also,
Okay.
like, he's not like under the impression that since she's a woman, she's not going to be like that. She needs to be rescued. So he's just like, whatever.
That's cool.
He's at least going to drive away, right? Because like that was what he said he would do. I don't know if they're watching as he leaves the house, but if they are, like, he has to get in the van, he has to drive, and actually he might even, just in case he's being followed, just like drive a long way, but also like call. It's not his uncle, but I call and see if, because he was gonna order like a different version of the book, right? Like.
Yes, but here's the thing: that different like printing is not going to look like a many centuries old manuscript version of it.
Sure, but that's fine. They don't know. I mean, for all I know, when we found the book, it was wrapped. So for all I know, he might not even know what the book looks like if I wrap it again, or that moment of confusion might be enough for everybody to get away. Like, here's your book.
Could a well-placed glamour make it look well enough like it?
I can't do magic.
You can't.
Well, you're not here.
I know.
And it's not something that Michelle has demonstrated an aptitude for.
I would have no idea that what you. I mean, as
right.
all Ravi knows. Ravi probably knows who the Erkling is, or at least some idea of it, but probably no real idea. And definitely no idea what the Hunmaster can and can't do.
I'm sure that Ravi has read the German poetry behind the Earl King. I mean, he is always hiding behind a book.
Sure, but a lot of that's probably, like, as far as Ravi's concerned, how much of that is real, how much of that is folklore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what Michelle can actually do. I doubt Ravi knows that he can cast the glamour like that.
Well, he can't right now, but I've been thinking about swapping out my Cloak of Shadow stunt with the glamour stunt. Because as a hunter, that kind of makes a little bit more sense to be able to hide himself more frequently than once per adventure.
Because here's the thing. We also have that free, stunt, right? Or stunt. We also have that free aspect right now, since we're missing our criminal. We could try to get a criminal connection to glamour a fake book for us.
You can also use Indebted as well.
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you that, like, I think that it would be great if Ravi would spend a couple of Indebted checkboxes to his betrothed uncle to pull in some strings in the Paranet to get some glamours on it. Because what's better than being indebted to family?
It's not family.
Not yet.
He's not going to be family. But that's besides the point. Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad idea, actually, when you mention that as a possibility. I kind of like that. I don't know why Ravi wouldn't. If Ravi knows that that's doable, I can't think of a good reason why he wouldn't do that. Are you compelling me to do that?
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. I'm not spending any of my fate points on that garbage. I want you to fall into that trap on your own.
I'm just checking because it does seem like a good idea. I'm just trying to figure it out from Ravi's point of view what other options he has.
None. Do it.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't feel like there are a lot.
Wait a minute. Let's not forget, like, $5,000, and they're not going to worry about you returning the book.
Like...
You also have a burner phone with which to contact me.
I was gonna say I'm gonna text Evie for sure and ask for some advice here.
Yeah,
or should I say Samantha? I'm gonna text Samantha / Evie, and also like probably text what's his name at the same time. I say what's his name?
What's his name?
Hux?
Gupta.
Oh, Dr.
Gupta.
Vineet Gupta.
Vineet, thank you. I just wrote down his last name. Yeah, I can also be texting him. So.
Uncle Vineet Gupta.
It's not Uncle anything.
Uncle Dr. Vineet Gupta.
Uncle Dr. Vineet
Uncle
Gupta,
Doctor.
sir.
Oh my goodness.
Dr. Uncle.
Dr. Uncle.
Yeah.
All right,
Whichever
no,
one
yeah,
sounds
I'm
the
probably
stupidest.
so
That
I'm
sounds
still
like
I'm
an
still
80s
gonna
sitcom.
I'm doing what I shouldn't do, and I'm texting while driving, just in case there's somebody following me. Do I detect that? Do I feel like anybody's following me? My senses.
Don't be a bad influence. Don't text while drive. Pull over.
Yeah. Well, are you looking for
Vishnu
people
doesn't
who
say
are,
anything about texting while
here's a
driving.
question. Are you actually are you texting them looking for people to follow? Like you're really having a hard time. You're kind of like really stretching yourself pretty thin to try and like see if like someone's following you
Well,
and doing all of this texting.
I'm
I
basically
think
what
that
I'm
calls
doing
for
is first. Yeah, okay. Tell me what it calls.
it calls for a focus roll because like if you're
Okay.
texting and driving,
Sure.
I'm going to penalize that because you don't do that. That's not a good idea.
All right.
We want
let's
the
roll
people
focus.
at home to know that you don't text and drive. So I'm going to set the difficulty for this at a 10.
And I'm doing this in the
Whoa.
No.
whoa.
He
That's
says 10, but he
impossible.
only shows 5 fingers.
No. You
What's
want
the
to find out if
difficulty?
someone's following you and you're trying to text. I'm saying the
basically,
difficulty
well,
at 4.
Okay, what I'm doing though, like to be clear for the fiction,
Yeah.
I'm driving for a while. I'm not going to Dr. Gupta's because I don't want to lead them there. I'm driving like making if they are following me, they're just maybe like, oh, he must have hidden this book somewhere really far away, right? And I'm trying to buy some time to figure out if they're following me. And I'm also going to text if I can, depending on if I make this focus roll or not. So
He's halfway
Let's
to New
see.
York by now.
let's
Yeah,
see what
I'm
we
saying-
got.
Saying the difficulty at 4.
Oh
and
shoot, wrong button. I forgot the R.
R
R40F plus
Why is that not working?
/ R
space.
space.
Thank you.
What's a pirate's favorite letter?
Wow.
The C.
Q?
I got a 1, so I'm not focused.
Yes, and it's an overcome roll, so you can succeed at a serious cost.
I'm not going to succeed at a serious cost. What I'm going to do is just
Fail.
well, is this like Apocalypse World style where I failed at my focus, so I only get to choose to focus on one thing instead of all 3? Or like how does that work?
Well, here's the thing. Like, okay, so if you fail, you have no idea if someone's following you, and it's going to take you a long time to text the information back and forth with.
Okay.
Let me put it this way: if you fail, you can text with either Dr. Gupta or Evie.
Well, Evie then. And what I'm going to do is try to, like, once I'm far enough away, pull the car over, get out like I'm going to dig up a book and call and see if Evie can like answer the phone. I don't know what's going on in the house at this point, but it's been a while, so we should probably catch that up because I've probably been driving for like 15 minutes. So a lot can happen in 15 minutes.
Fair enough.
Haven't you
Fair
ever
enough.
seen...
So,
I was going to say, haven't you ever seen Home Alone? A lot can happen in 15 minutes.
I'd argue even longer than 15
All right, so
minutes.
Robbie,
Probably like
you-
45.
I wouldn't drive for 45 minutes before texting at least. Like I'd probably text right away, like trying to figure out what's going
yeah,
on.
but you failed this
I
roll,
did
so I
fail.
would assume that you like drive a lot longer than what you think should.
Also,
like,
I may have texted my mom on accident instead of Evie. I have no idea.
No, I mean you could have, but
was
what?
dark.
No, you pull into the lot, and we kind of like pan the camera back from like you sitting there like texting on your phone, and we see like the Dunkin' Donuts sign on the side of the building, and then we swipe cut back to. You're welcome, everybody. I really got to get Dunkin' Donuts on supporting us. So anyway, so Evie, we're going to cut back to you. You are inside of the building. Let me go grab my notes here. All right. So Evie, when last we left you, Robbie had left. Lloyd told you, make yourself comfortable. You're welcome to, have a snack. Whenever he and Mimi Carrero Middleton, Neville Middleton's wife, went off to the kitchen to speak privately, you got up and checked to make sure that the door to the porch was unlocked, so that like you had an escape route that was there. Pardon my coughing. And so that's where we left you. You were on the couch just kind of doing your thing. Is there anything in particular that you wanted to do?
if I kind of walk around the room and just like I act like I'm absentmindedly like scrolling through Instagram, like checking Snapchat, going through the various social medias, tweeting, all the fun stuff that the hip kids are doing.
Going to do all the tweet chats.
All the tweet chats on the book messengers. I'm gonna basically get up, walk around the room, and see if like any of the doors that lead out of the room, or like any of the windows, like if I can kind of pick up on what they might be talking about. Because obviously the door to the porch is open, so that I can get out if I need to, like take a tumble and get off of this property. But what I'd like to do is try to eavesdrop on the conversation that they're having. If I can't do it from this room, then I'm just going to leave and try to find somewhere where I can just like position myself to listen in on their conversation.
Sure. So that sounds like a guile roll.
Okay.
I'm going to set the difficulty to eavesdrop. This is going to be an overcome. I'm going to set the difficulty at, say, a 3.
Okay.
So
Not
it's not
necessarily
quite
the best at guile.
Yeah, it's not quite easy, but it's also not quite hard. So
Here it goes.
all right.
Hey!
So that is success at a minor cost because you tied the difficulty of 3.
That's fine.
So, all right. So the what is the minor cost going to be? So Evie, I imagine that like, there's kind of like a hallway, it twists and turns a little bit and goes back to the kitchen. I'm imagining that you're kind of like creaking forward, all of that. And you're kind of like listening at the end of the hallway, which is around the corner. And at the end of their discussion, they're going to discover you at the end of the hallway.
That's fine.
So the minor cost is just going to be that, like, they're not going to think much of you being at the end of the hallway. So there's that. We're going to, at the same time that you're eavesdropping on this conversation, I actually want to add a compel for Michelle, who's also in the building. Michelle, you're inside of the building. You and Hux are like collecting up information as much as you can before you guys need to kind of like, bolt out of there. And you actually overhear like a conversation coming through like one of the heating vents of the building. So you can kind of like hear what's going on in the kitchen. The compel that I'm going to offer you is on Newentown, and you are going to actually find out that the Middletons are allies of the Earl King, making your life very complicated.
Son of... Oh, mon Dieu.
So,
Qu'est-ce qui se passe ici? C'est pas une bonne idée. J'aime pas ça.
So, I will tell you guys what they talk about like in character in a moment. I just want to make sure that like that Michelle would like a fate point.
I always want a fate point. I'm a glutton for punishment.
And that is how you play fate.
Hit me, baby.
Yeah, that's the best way.
Do it.
Do it now.
All right. So the conversation that Evie and Michelle overhear, the conversation is between Mimi and Lloyd. And basically, like, you can hear Mimi telling Lloyd, Lloyd, listen.
Lloyd is the bodyguard, right?
Lloyd is the bodyguard, yes.
And we haven't seen the senator at all. He's just...
That's correct.
Okay.
Neville Longbottom is nowhere to be seen.
No.
Yes. Trust me, about halfway through writing, I'm like, oh, he's going to be called Neville Longbottom. Oh, well. But Neville Middleton, completely different. Anyway, so you hear Mimi going, like, Lloyd, listen. So the woman that's out there, she's collateral for the boy that we think took the book of ours. Yeah. See, it was a real rough go. We managed to find some tapes of what happened, and it turns out that this one of the folks working our party actually walked away with the book. But it, as I told you earlier, it was a bit complicated as he wasn't the original one who took it. Oh, well then who was the original one who took it? Well, see, that's the thing. We haven't been able to, we haven't been able to figure out exactly who it was based on the tapes. We had really spotty coverage. For some reason, security system was going haywire. But we figured that I've got the boy. He's going to go get the book. I've offered him some money for it. How much money have you offered? I've offered him $5,000. Mimi goes, so what if he doesn't come back with the book? Well, the way I figured is we can make life rough for him. Yes. Well, we could do it that way, or we can do it a little bit more of a simple way. Because I think that based on what you've told me about this young man, I think that that he might be quite useful. I think that whatever it was that destroyed my patio, the giant blue crab monster, I think that's something that shouldn't be in town. And I think that maybe our young hero might be willing to help us out with that. So what I'd like you to do is she produces another like envelope of cash. Yes, they have lots of envelopes of cash. And she hands it to Lloyd and says, listen, offer her a sum of money that if this young man doesn't bring the book back, that maybe like since she's sleeping with him, that she could bring the book back and make herself a pretty penny while she's at it. She looks a little rough around the edges, so I think that we might be able to lure her in with some cash. So, yep. All right, ma'am. No problem there. Yes. So Lloyd, go ahead. Just make sure that, that everything is fine. Watch over the girl. I've got a parlay with some of the Earl King's attendants. We're negotiating some finer points of some things, and so I won't be back until late. I've got the dynamic duo that you've assigned me, ma'am. They're some of the best that we've got. Yeah, I know, but I don't know. I don't like the look of them. Can't we put them in like nicer clothing, something that looks better? Can we get them to like not be so just hideous? Yeah, well, ma'am, it's what we're working with here. Not everybody knows how to put up a glamour. I understand that, but maybe we could try. Maybe anyway, yeah. So I'm off. Just make sure that that we manage to get that book back. Yes, ma'am. And with that, Mimi kind of comes out into the hallway, and she kind of startles a little bit at Samantha. And it's just like, oh, I didn't know that you were here. Are you hungry? We've got some food in the fridge. We've got some light hors d'oeuvres left over from party that are still good.
Well, I was looking for the bathroom. This house is so darn big, but well, since you're offering free food, I guess I'll take it.
Oh, of course. And Mimi just kind of like walks you into the kitchen. She pulls out a bunch of like hors d'oeuvre plates, leftovers from the party. And she just, kind of like puts it out and hands you a plate and, utensils. And it's like, you're welcome to whatever you like. I have, my car is here, so I have to get to it. So Samantha, right?
Yeah. This whole conversation is happening. I am staring directly at my phone.
Okay.
I'm not even looking up at her.
Okay. Well, it was a pleasure to meet you, Samantha, and good day. And
Thanks.
She heads out to the garage. So.
And she said she was the one going to speak to my peeps, right?
Yes.
I'm going to try to follow her.
All right.
I don't know, jump on the top of the car and go invisible or something so she doesn't know I'm there, or sneak in the backseat before she's looking, something. But I need to figure out what her connection is with my boss, I guess you could call him that.
Yeah. So why don't you go ahead and so you hear this, you rush to a window, you hear the garage door opening, and you basically kind of like time it so that you can like quiet as a whisper jump down like kind of like on top of, I imagine it's an SUV type thing, so you could kind of like climb underneath of it real quick. I would like you to, let me think. Let me see. Trying to think of the, it sounds like you're definitely using guile because you are being super stealthily. So go ahead and make a guile. I'm going to set the difficulty for this at, I'm going to say a 2.
Okay. And since my computer's still broken, I don't have my character sheet in front of me. My guile is 3, correct?
I will pull that up because I just shut that. I seriously just shut the tab that had it open. I kid you not.
It's 3, Kyle.
Thank you.
Sorry, I thought I didn't realize I was muted. So.
Oh, that's not good.
All right. So it is an overcome, so you can succeed at a cost if you like.
What would my cost be?
The cost of this is that you actually discover that the SUV itself, the body and the underneath part is lined with like kind of strategic like strips of iron. So like as you kind of like touch it, it burns, and you'll actually take a point of stress. Actually, I'll make it 2 points of stress to be able to. I take that back. Sorry, I'm still
I would be
parsing.
Pharaoh burned.
I was about to say you would be Pharaoh burned if you were to do this.
Well, that only lasts as long as I'm in contact with the iron. So until we get to our destination, I would be without my powers.
And you are clinging to like the bottom of an SUV. Do you want to be without your powers for that?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, I do. I just got that fate point. I'm not going to spend it quite yet.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. All right. You are, I'm going to mark it here in the spreadsheet here. You are Pharaoh burned. You are locked out of your mantle. Let's see. Yes. It is, sorry, I need to look that up real quick. Pharaoh burned, that is under Fae. Pharaoh burn. If you suffer a condition inflicted by an iron weapon, mark this condition as well. You must recover this condition before healing from any other physical injury. Begin recovery by recuperating in fairy or receiving medical care from a character versed in supernatural healing. If you seek medical attention outside of fairy, the healer must overcome a great obstacle to succeed at a recovery action. So what that means is that you will lose access to your mantle until you get healed of being Pharaoh burned. So I'm pretty sure that changes.
Yes, that is significantly worse.
Yeah, that definitely changes everything. Actually, as Earl King's Huntmaster, I only have Impaled by Cold Iron. I don't have Pharaoh burned as a condition.
Well, I mean, you expect me to read the correct thing?
I'll just spend the fate point to up it to a +2, or to up it by 2 to equal the difficulty and take a minor cost.
I set the difficulty at 2, so if you spend a fate point,
you'll
go from 1 to 3, and you'll clear it. You'll be good.
So okay, we'll do that instead.
That sounds much better. So let me So you go from 4 fate points to 3 fate points. And I've updated that. So, all right. So you notice that the car itself is covered with like iron, like studs and strips and protrusions, basically to prevent exactly what you're trying to do right now. But you were able to do it. So the car then kind of like bumps down and continues driving off with you underneath of it.
Yep.
All right. So flashing to Ravi. Ravi, you're in the Dunkin' Donuts parking lot. Texting
Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Darn donuts.
Texting with Evie.
Mm-hmm. Like, what do I do? Basically, like, are you out? Can you get out? Do I bring the book back?
Literally ask her tell her what you're texting her.
Okay. Well, are you okay? Here. Evie, are you okay? Is everything all right?
I will reply back, yes, everything's fine. It seems that they are aligned with the Earl King. Or I'm not going to say the Earl King. I'm going to say Michelle's Overlord.
So I don't understand. Should I be bringing the book back to them, or are these bad guys? Question mark.
Well, it seems that they're well, it seems that they're interested in you doing something else besides bringing back the book.
That sounds cryptic. I don't want to know what they have in mind for me. Can you get out on your own, or do you?
They want you to kill the hashtag giant enemy crab.
Well, I'm gonna do that anyway. Hashtag giant enemy crab. That's trending.
Well, since you're trying to do it anyways, then maybe you should not worry about the book and give them a call and ask them if there's something else you could do because you can't find it.
Okay, well, give that dude the phone. I'll talk to him. I don't exactly have his number.
Okay, let me just erase all of these text messages. Delete, 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 delete.
I mean, your phone doesn't do that automatically? I imagine somebody as secure as you just messages wipe as soon as you get them.
Delete. I'll try to find Lloyd in the house.
Sure. Yeah, Lloyd is around. Hey, Samantha.
Hey, boy, he wants to talk to you. I had him the phone as it's ringing.
What did you call me?
You didn't hear that because you're not there. Hand him the phone.
Fine.
Or wait, that's right. I hand him the phone. There you go.
Excellent.
Is this it?
Oh, look at that! Even a black case.
Should just actually have called. I'll just dial Randy. Or, so the book's not here, but I was told that maybe we have a common enemy.
I'm not exactly sure what do you mean? Is our enemy the fact that you don't have the book?
The lady at the party, the one that crabbed out and destroyed the wall, she had the book. She stole the book from you guys.
Yes, and then you walked away with the book, so that means you have the book. I don't know where you're going with this, Ravi.
Well, I don't have the book anymore, and I don't know where it is, and I'm wondering if maybe the giant crab has it. So anyway, if you're looking to have this crab eliminated in the first place, I'm already going. I can do this. I can take out this crab person for you, and we can straighten this whole thing out.
That sounds great. That sounds fantastic. In fact, Ravi, I was hoping that you'd want to do that because this crab person is obviously someone very powerful and does not belong where we are. And you,
I agree with that.
Yes, and you fight for what? The side of good, right?
Yes, the side of good, bringing balance back to the universe.
Yeah, so let's balance out that crab. That sounds great. I like this idea. What I don't like, Ravi, is that the book that you stole you don't have anymore. That's bad.
I mean, it's bad for me too. That book was really valuable. You were going to give me $5,000 for that book. You think I'm happy? You know what I could do with $5,000? I could do a lot with $5,000. I'm a college student. I wouldn't have to work parties like yours.
Ravi, I saw the tapes. You were having a good time. So
maybe until the wall punch.
So it sounds to me, Ryan, like you were trying to convince Lloyd that Ravi has lost the book, which sounds like guile.
I can't. I am so bad at lying. All right.
And it's going to be
All
opposed
right.
by Lloyd actively,
I will. I will.
because
I
Lloyd's
will
my
do
man.
this. I will do this, but this is my weakest.
Will
I
you
mean,
do this?
Robbie's
Will you
hard.
do it?
Robbie doesn't like to lie. Like he couldn't even pretend that Evie was his girlfriend. Like he's really bad at this.
Yeah, yeah. This is why it's so great that, like,
That's why and out of character. I mean, I didn't want him to be good at lying. I just feel like it's too easy to try to lie my way out of everything in every game. So I wanted to, you know,
yeah.
so
So
it's
so
opposed roll,
Lloyd,
huh?
It's going to be an opposed roll, so you can go ahead and roll, and then I will roll. Just for descriptive purposes, I want to say that Lloyd is on the phone, and he seems to be paying a lot of attention to what you're saying, and he'll ask like the same question a couple of times.
Sure, standard questioning.
Exactly. It's almost like there's a method to what he does, and he is actually opposing you with intellect. As opposed to guile, as a way to kind of snuff this out. So let's see, that is 40F plus his intellect. I got 3.
All right, come on, dice, be with me.
The
I got a
dice
2.
Oh.
So I
you're
want.
short.
No, it's okay.
All right, I got
it's
a
closer
3,
than
you
it
got a
could have
2.
been.
Yeah, this is true.
I'm definitely going to cash in. Oh man, let's see. I want to spend it on always hiding behind a book because I want to factor this into the game. So
All right.
basically, like, I'm going to think of a book I read where the plot was that somebody had a book stolen, and I'm going to just pull all the details out of that. Like some obscure book that I don't think this guy's ever read, so that like so the details stay consistent every time because I'm just remembering this book I read. I'm not trying to lie. I'm just reciting this basically.
Sure. Let's see. I am actually going to. Let's see. You know what? I actually am going to instead I'm going to return that fate point to you. So you are back to 3 fate points. And I'm going to actually say that he believes what you're telling him. I am actually going to compel him. Let's see, I'm sorry, I'm just writing it down. I'm going to actually compel him. One of his aspects is overworked. In the previous game, I kind of alluded to that he was like, kind of tired and kind of like just, like was doing his thing. One of his aspects is overworked. And I'm going to compel it to let this lie get by him.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I'm good with that.
Yep. So that gives Lloyd a fate point to spend in the future. So, excellent. All right, cool. Yeah. All right, Ravi, you don't have the book. I understand. So, tell you what, why don't you come on back? We make arrangements for what we can do about the mutual problem that we have.
I guess I'll head back
Ravi,
then.
And Ravi.
Yeah.
Make sure you bring the money back.
You never gave me the money.
Oh, that's right. He gave it to Samantha. Never mind.
Nice.
All right.
Nice
That's
trick, fine. Lloyd.
All right. So
I just fan the money in front of him when he says, "Bring the money back."
Well, he wouldn't have said that. That was my mistake. All right, Robbie. Well, I'll see you when you get back here. And Lloyd hangs up the phone, hands it back to Samantha. He's like, Samantha.
Yes.
So Robbie says that he doesn't know where the book is, and I think it's a darn shame. Just a darn shame that he doesn't know where this book is.
Yeah, what the heck? He's always forgetting stuff. He's not very reliable.
I know, but are you reliable, Samantha?
Well, I can be for the right price.
And this leads to our compel for Evie. because she is a broke ink addict.
Ah, shit. Yeah, that's right.
So we can play it out. But the way that it's going to go down is that Lloyd is going to offer you another $5,000 on top of the $5,000 that you already have. Upon delivery of the book. And the compel is that you agree and will deliver the book to Lloyd and the Middletons. It's not that you'll agree, it's that you will actually deliver it.
Yeah, I know. Here's the thing. I don't want to screw over my fellow players by taking this fate point. So what do you guys think?
What do you guys think as players?
I think
Like,
as a player that whatever serves the story, I don't care. As long as it's for the benefit of telling a good story, like I don't mind putting us all through the ringer or whatever.
Now,
As a player, Robbie would be like, "No, don't do it."
yeah. Now here's the thing.
Christopher, wait a minute, Christopher?
Yeah.
Well, as a player, I just like Brian mentioned, I don't want the bad guys, maybe question mark, to have the book, but at the same time, if there's no tension, the story sucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other thing is, they didn't say that I couldn't tell you guys that I was giving them the book. So as far as I'm concerned, that will wipe my conscience.
Yeah, but
we'll,
you know that
put
if
a
here's
GPS
the
locator
thing.
tag in it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the like. I mean, you could totally do that, but here's the thing: like, if you tell everybody else, they might try and stop you, and you need the money.
I do need the money. I am pretty
No,
poor.
I think
Yeah.
this would be a cool point of tension for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I mean-
like, you know, what happened to the book? Like, oh, well, Evie turned it over to the bad guys.
Like,
But are they
Robbie's-
bad guys though? We're not
Well,
We
sure
don't
about
know.
that.
We
Who
don't
knows?
know.
You don't know.
Robbie,
I think
Robbie forgives, so eventually it'll probably be okay in the long run. But tension is
You'll
good.
forgive your girlfriend?
I mean, he'll forget. Robbie came all this way to not get paired with anybody. Michelle's acting like Robbie's mom.
Hey,
Someone has to,
Maybe
'cause
Robbie
she's
likes
not around.
Hux, and he's just too shy to mention anything.
Yeah.
Like, it could be. I mean, it's, you
But
know,
Hux isn't here.
that's true.
Yeah.
Hux's player isn't here, so
That's true. Hux is actually, I have no idea where Hux himself is. He's in the house.
Well, he's commenting in the
lost.
Twitch channels, what he's doing right now.
oh, is he?
Well, not literally
it.
right now, but like he's
He
in
was
there
earlier.
hanging out.
But
So,
I
yeah.
don't have a computer. I can't do the whole Twitch thing.
I assume that
and chat
that
on the
he is
DMS.
getting into mischief somewhere in the house.
All right.
I'm not even
So-
there anymore, so what do I care?
Yep. So Evie, this is an offer for a compel.
Mm-hmm. I will take it. I think it's interesting.
All right. Cool.
And as conflicted as it will make Evie, she does need the money. So a 10K will go a long way.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Awesome. All right, cool. So Lloyd's just like, yep. So that's the deal. You can walk away with the 5,000 that you've got right now, and then whenever you bring the book back, well, I'll give you the other 5,000. And he shows you the envelope with the money. He's like, I've got it right here. I'm not trying to trick you. We want the book back. Don't run away with the money. $5,000 is not going to get you very far. We'll find you. And just don't run away with the money, okay?
Listen, if it makes you feel safer, you could just wire it to my account. That way I can't run with the money. And then, once I bring you the book, we can take the 10,000 from the holding account into my actual account. And then I'll just have the money and you can't take it from me.
Listen.
How about that?
No. Listen, cash is good.
Don't want it to be traceable? Okay, that's fine. I guess I understand.
Thank you. I'm glad.
Isn't it weird that Samantha knows all about this stuff?
Yeah, it's weird, huh?
Yeah, so, all right. So let's see. So, Christopher, Michelle is having the ride of his life.
That's one way of putting it, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So let's see. Riding on the bottom of an SUV, we're gonna go for coolness, and we're just going to say that they don't go very far in DC, and not like make it a
DC's
big
not
challenge.
that big anyway.
Yeah, no, it isn't. So all right, so the SUV kind of like starts slowing down and goes to pull into, like, you see it's pulling into a driveway because you can see the little sidewalk bump, because you don't have a very good vantage point. You have no idea where in DC you are, because like
I never
you were
even thought about
underneath of an
that.
SUV. So as the car comes up, you hear the driver say, like, guest for the Earl King's treat. And so then a couple of guards start kind of like looking the car over. And at this point, you see a familiar face duck underneath the car. The military cropped hair of, oh goodness, what was his name? It was
The Goblin.
Olwen. And you kind of see Olwen, and he's got kind of a surprised look on his face, and he kind of looks at you, and it's just like,
I just roll my eyes at him and kind of
it
motion
looks like
to
our,
let us go in.
he kind of like waves at the other guards. He's like, the extra security that we had to make sure that she arrived here safely has made sure. Like, come on out, Michelle. So you see Olwen. You see that they're pulled up to an older looking townhouse in the DC area. There's nothing particularly interesting about it. You would be able to find it again, possibly, but basically, Olwen's just kind of like, thank you, Michelle, for helping us with the extra security detail. If you'll, he kind of points over to the little guard station, which is really like just basically like a phone booth, with like a seat in it. He's like,
Yeah,
go
but
ahead and sit.
it's smaller on the outside.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so the SUV gets waved through the gate. The gate shuts. You, Olwen, and another Earl King Goblin guard are on this side of the gate. And Olwen says to the other goblin, like, why don't you go ahead and get that coffee that you wanted? I know you wanted to try some of that new brew over at the Dunkin' Donuts. So why don't you go ahead? And so
Get one for me too, please. I am famished after that ride.
Yeah, sure. He takes your order, writes it down on a little scrap of paper. And as soon as that goblin is out of earshot, Olwen turns to you. Olwen's like comes up to like your like navel, but man, he is angry, and he's just like, Michelle, what the fuck are you doing? Like, this is crazy. Do you know that I just put myself out on the limb for you? What are you doing underneath a car trying to sneak into this place?
I didn't know the car was coming here. She said she was somehow mixed up with us and our kind, and I wanted to know if it was true. If not, I would have to mete out some justice for lying and pretending to be an ally of the Earl King. And you know as much as I do that he does not like it when people do that.
That's true. That's true. But Michelle,
I was just looking out for his best interest.
Michelle, I know there's a lot of talk about how like the Wild Hunt is this great thing where we go around and we slaughter the prey, and oh man, yeah, it's great. But here's the thing: it's the wild. Like, while we're here and not doing the Wild Hunt, there's a different kind of hunt going on, and especially where we're at today, like here and now in the DC metro area, the hunt here is more social, mental. Like it's a little bit. We have to work within the machinations of what's going on, meting out justice. At any slight against the Earl King, so obviously is such a bad idea. At this point, Olwyn is going to just basically kind of like rake you over the coals. You are like a novice with the Earl King. Basically, he's just going to just tell you that like had he not covered for you, like this would have been the end. And so whenever he concludes, he's like, all right, Michelle, go back to wherever you were going before, which I hope is getting me that vial of blood that I asked you for.
I was in the process of doing it, and then I figured that this was... never mind. Je vais continuer ce que vous m'avez dit. And he kind of looks around. I ridden with her. I don't know how to get back.
All right, we're gonna cut to Ravi.
Ooh.
So Ravi, what are you doing now?
I mean, I'm gonna drive back. Like, I feel like we're in a good place. I don't have the book, but whatever. And I know Evie's fine, but I don't know where else to go. I got to pick Evie up anyway. So I want to talk this out kind of in person with them. So I'm gonna head back to the house.
All right, sounds good. Let me think. Ravi, I would like you to make a focus roll. I'm going to set the difficulty at a 1.
Okay, let me do this and not suck it up this time.
Well, I'm lowering the difficulty so that you can maybe make it.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
These dice are never really friendly to me, though. What? And I wasted it.
Oh, man. Yeah, so there's a difficulty of 1. That's success with style.
It had to happen somewhere.
Let's see. So you're driving along, and you actually notice kind of like across the 4 lanes of road, you notice that Michelle is sitting outside of the gate of this like giant townhouse. And you basically like, and so
that's not
you
what I
see him.
expected to see him.
Yeah, you see him, and he's talking to that short military-looking fellow that you've seen him talk to before, whenever the first night that you guys met. So you can choose to pick him up, or you can choose to drive on, or what would you like to do?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna stop and at least roll down the window and be like, "Hi, Michelle. This is not where I expected to find you."
Salut également. I did not expect this either. What are you? Oh, never mind. Can I get a ride?
Yeah, I'm going back to the house though. I gotta go get Evie.
I have to get Ux.
Okay, well, I guess we're going the same way.
Owen just hangs his head in shame.
It's like we just left him back at the house somewhere. He's fine.
And I try to shoot Olwen a look that says, "Shut up, you little goblin," but as soon as I try, Olwen just kind of arcs an eyebrow, and you kind of see Michelle melts into the seat a little bit.
Yeah. So, all right. Cool. So, Ravi and Michelle, are you guys just driving up to the Middletons? What are you guys doing?
I mean, at this point, right? I mean, yeah, sure.
I'm trying to connect dots in my head as to what the hell is going on. Qu'est-ce qui se passe ici? Je ne suis pas sûr. Oh, putain, c'est difficile.
All right, so Ravi, you pull the van up to the Middletons. They let you and Michelle in the van through the gate, and you park it.
Yep. And get out and go. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen. Well, maybe Michelle should wait in the car. They never knew. He was there, right?
Well, they knew he was there because he helped fight the giant blue crab.
Yeah, but I mean today. They didn't know he was there today.
That is correct.
So Like, welcome back. Oh, I'm back. No, wait, no. I mean, I was never here in the first place. So I guess we'll just walk up to the door, right?
All right. Lloyd opens the door and he kind of looks a little bit shocked, and he's just kind of like, "Well, isn't this interesting? Lost a book, but you found a friend."
I mean, he was just hitchhiking on the side of the road.
Je suis pas encore son ami.
I gave him a ride.
At this point, Michel is kind of miffed at being, dismissed by Olwen, so he's kind of going to try to play the tough guy with, he's new to all this, and he's kind of.
Well, Lloyd waves the two of you through the door. He reaches into a drawer and pulls out a metal detecting wand. Michel uses knives, right? As a weapon?
Hunting knives, yes.
Hunting knives. Basically, he's going to wand you. He's going to wand you both. He starts with. He'll actually start with you, Michel. And beep beep. Oh, so this is interesting. What you got here?
It is a tool of the trade, necessary. How do you say in this country for self-defense?
Yeah, but usually when they're for self-defense, they're not quite that long. So I'm going to need you to leave them on the counter here.
Trying to think if he would have a backup. Because being Fey, or having his powers be Fey-derived, he would probably have a non-metallic weapon as a backup.
Yeah, but would it be one that would pass by being patted down?
Probably not. So I'm thinking bone would be too archaic. Maybe some sort of crystalline structure.
What about a porcelain or tempered glass?
Tempered glass, that would be cool. Yeah. So he's got a tempered glass backup knife in his boot.
Because, they do make ceramic, like chef's knives and stuff. So
yeah, they do. Which actually, the ceramic chef's knives have a rod of steel in them so that they will not pass through inspections. Not that they couldn't be made without them, but that's a fun fact about those ceramic knives.
Why do you have you learned through experience, Randy?
Well, Michel has one without the rod of metal in it.
I was actually detained in Singapore for 3 hours because I had 2 knives in my bag because I was foolish coming back from Bali.
Really?
So,
geez.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't think of them as knives. I thought of them as gifts. So,
wow. Oh, that sucks.
If you're ever asked if you have something to declare, say yes, and then ask them what should you declare. Like, don't say no 3 times. Mm-hmm. That's magic for sitting around for 3 hours hoping that you don't get caned. It was a legit concern.
Yeah.
So yeah, fun times. So Michel, you've got a tempered glass knife in your boot. Just like a little short thing, but it'll still, like, those knives are still dangerous. So
yeah, it'll still kill somebody.
Yeah, that's fine. He has you leave it on the counter. He kind of he scans Ravi. Ravi, your mace in your bag. He just kind of taps it with a wand. He's just like, leave it on the counter, Ravi.
Yeah, I will anyway.
So, your girlfriend's in here, Ravi. So you guys come around the corner, and Samantha is on the couch.
Hi, Samantha.
Hey, who's your friend?
Missed you so much.
You could try harder, to show your affection for me, but okay.
Samantha, I'm so glad you're okay.
Thanks. Introduce me to your friend.
Oh, this is
Michel.
I didn't know if you wanted me to use your real name out of character.
You've used it already once,
but it's out. It's out now. Michel. Yeah, this is Michel, who you've met because we're friends.
He doesn't know the whole secret agent thing using different names.
I'm bad at this. Ravi is bad at lying.
I don't know this man.
Hold on, my wife has just walked in with a
bag
full of nuts.
Is it Dunkin'
Oh.
Donuts?
No, it's cashews.
Just regular nuts.
Man, I really want Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah,
a lot of cashews.
I'm really
That's
into
a-
Dunkin' Donuts right now.
Yeah.
So Michelle's kind of looking a little oddly between the two, not quite understanding the whole playing a role thing. I am Michelle. I am new in town, and you are.
He said my name, but I guess I'll say it anyways.
I said Samantha.
And he will tentatively grab your hand and do the French kiss on the back of the hand thing. Enchanté, Samantha.
Hey,
Yeah.
Samantha
Lloyd elbows Ravi and is just like, boy, you're in trouble.
hey, what is this?
Samantha will blush and giggle and kind of like act all coy. It's like, see, Robbie, that's how you're supposed to treat a lady.
You know what? You've never complained about the way I've treated you in the past.
That's because you haven't asked.
If you would like, my friend, I can teach you how to be polite to people in general, but the women prefer it when men pay attention.
You know, women also don't like being generalized.
He's French. Of course everyone's generalized. Come on.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's just a generalization against French people in general. I'm sorry, people in France listen to this. I mean Parisians specifically.
Excellent. All right. All right. So, Robbie, I'm glad that you came back. I'm glad that you brought your friend. I recognize him. It's nice to have a name to go with the face that I've seen before. Your work against the giant crab demon was stellar, and he shakes your hand.
Thanks. I mean, I don't feel like I did much. It kind of ran away.
He was shaking Michelle's hand.
And Michel, after he regains feeling in his fingers, he kind of stands up straighter and kind of puffs his chest out a little bit. Finally, someone's recognizing his skill.
I mean, you also failed to kill it. It ran away. It's still out there, guys.
It was not to kill it or destroy it, but save those who are unable to defend themselves.
You know, sometimes I would like to be filled in on the stories that you encounter too, Robbie, but you know, fine. Just tell your guy friends, not your girlfriend. Whatever.
So, Robbie, I'm going to give you the choice now. If you'd like, I can ask Samantha to spend some time in the billiards room while you and Michelle and I talk.
Whoa, what is that supposed to mean?
Well, I don't. Does Samantha contribute to whatever you guys do?
The women are just as important as the men.
Oh, I
In
don't mean
France,
any.
we know
No.
this
As we determined last
late.
episode, I am #feminist.
It's too late after that.
It's fine.
No way. You
I'm
can't
not
come back
minimalizing
from
for
that.
that. I'm just saying that, like, Ravi, I saw what you
told
were able
you
to do
once.
with magic, and Michelle, I saw what you were able to do with the
anything with
knives.
magic,
And so
but-
far, Samantha has eaten shrimp and been on Instagram.
That's what she does best.
Snapchat too, thanks.
Now, I told you already, whatever you can say to me, you can,
that sounds dangerous.
whatever you say in front of me, you should say in front of Samantha. I have no secrets from her.
Oh, all right, that's fine. Whatever floats your boat. All right, so, so we need to talk about this blue crab monster. Are you familiar with the concept of God and the devil?
Je pense que tout le monde le sait, oui.
Yeah. So yeah, the whole like the story of Jesus and oh crap, why can't I remember? Oh, okay. And the story of Judas and his 30 pieces of silver that he was paid to just say where Jesus was.
Yeah, I think a passing familiarity.
Yeah, I know.
Actually,
it's in popular culture.
Would Ravi know that much about the biblical history?
He's
I would know
second
that
gen-
much about the denarians, that's for sure.
Fair.
So only as it relates to that would I know about biblical history.
Yeah, so each of the 30 pieces of silver is possessed by a demon of sorts. And if you pick up a coin, you get possessed by the demon. And
This
you
is
end
all
up
new
working
information.
together. What's that?
I said, this is all brand new information.
Yeah, so what you're dealing with is a denarian. So
Trying to think if Michel would have come across that term in
No, but
his training.
we have a different name for them.
yeah,
Samantha's gonna look like she's tweeting, but actually she's taking very detailed notes of exactly what this guy's saying. So
140 characters at a time.
yes,
280, man. Come on, get with it.
This is true. All right. So
they look so weird.
yeah. So basically, this particular Denarian's name is Arakeel. I'm going to put it in the dice chat so that it shows up in the video.
Yeah, I was going to say, can you spell that?
There you go. Arakeil. Arakeel. Anyway, so Arakeel is particularly, well, all of the Denarians are nasty. You can't say they're particularly nasty. Some are more nastier than others, but Arakeel is tough, as you guys figured out. And since Arakeel was the one who came and decided to steal the book that Ravi has lost, we
T'as perdu le livre? Encore? Oh, mon Dieu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ravi lost it. Apparently, he's incompetent. That's what Samantha told me.
Well, I mean, you know.
Yeah. So anyway, so it just so happens that we have that the Pictrix is one of 4 books. We have another part of the quartet that we can use as bait to try and draw her out. Let me see my list. All right.
So, what is it that you want with the books?
Oh, I want them back. They're collector's items. They have no inherent magic themselves, and besides, the books aren't mine.
Sure. Whose are they?
Well, the Neville Bottoms.
The Neville Longbottoms.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you. The Middletons. It was the middle. They belong to the Middletons. They are collectors of antiquities, and they'd like to have them back.
But if this Denarian is as dangerous as you say, then it will be attempting to utilize the book for faire du mal, to do bad things with it.
It's a book. I mean, he picks up like an encyclopedia off of like a bookshelf, and he's like, I can do a lot of damage with this, but it's not really anything that we're gonna worry about.
I don't know.
Knowledge is power.
Why would this demon thing want this book that has no inherent power to it exactly? Like, I understand that it's valuable, but like, I don't see how a demon would want money. I don't know. Like, it's kind of confusing to me, but like, just speaking in vague terms, like, why would a demon want something that's just worth money and not power?
Listen, that's above my pay grade. I don't know. All I know is that
lots of things are above your pay grade, apparently.
Huh.
You know, whatever.
That's fine with me. There's things I don't want to know about. The more you know, the more involved you get. The more involved you get, the worse off you are. Because think about it. Now, you guys are involved in all of this. Isn't that awesome? It's great. We're buddies. And he slaps Ravi on the back really hard.
Well, it's better than just sitting around in his dorm room all the time.
Yeah, so basically, yeah.
True.
I'd like to get the book back, and I know Ravi has expressed an interest in taking out the Denarian, so it seems like we've got a pretty good deal.
Yeah. What about Hux?
Who?
He's just standing there, not saying anything.
Oh, that's right. Hux is not here with us, is he?
No, like yeah, we're just hand waving him. We're not concerned about him. Like, we assume he gets safely out of the building. Like, there's no attention paid. Like,
yeah, I mean, if this Denarian, which is not what out of character, not what Ravi would call them, but they don't really believe that maybe this is really about the coins, but it's something else anyway. Like, they have a different idea of where the Denarians come from. That's the lore of the Knights of Vishnu, but the Knights of the Lotus. Anyway, yes, we will get rid of those Denarians.
Yes. And this is the important part. Get that book back. Because Ravi, you said that you believe that Eric Kyle probably stole the book from you, so you're going to get that back. In addition to your own agendas, which is defeating Eric Kyle.
Yes, that's true. We will get the book back for you.
Is there anything else you can tell us about this Eric Kyle thing before we go bounding off into our certain doom, apparently?
Well, I can tell you that Eric Kyle is herself a powerful geomancer, controls earth magic. Whenever she is in her demon form, she's quite huge.
Yeah, we noticed that.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what we know about her. Most of that is from the fight that we saw. We've only had a couple of days to begin doing like any kind of research, and there's so many things going on that like we just haven't managed to get into it. So yeah, the way we figure it, and this is my plan. You can come up with your own if you'd like, but we can arrange to have several valuable books stored in our safety deposit box at the bank. If we make a big deal about it, make some clatter and tell maybe the right people, maybe Eric Kyle will catch wind of it, because we do have a second book of the Picatrix. And we could maybe flush her out. Maybe she'll try to hit up the safety deposit box.
That seems like a lot of collateral damage.
Why can we not just
For the bank.
Yeah. I mean, at the party that she like basically attacked everyone around her. I mean, it was kind of crazy.
And the people that are in the bank and
yeah,
throughout the bank.
I'm not worried about the bank itself, but definitely the people.
I know a few individuals who might be able to deliver a message to this Erkael. And we could have a meeting somewhere with less possibilité pour des blessures de civiliens.
Listen, Lloyd, your plan sounds nice, but we're gonna try to do something else. We'll call you if we need to use your plan. Does that sound good?
Yeah. Well, that's fine. Whatever your plan is, that's great. Have fun.
Yeah, I'd rather have a plan that involves less collateral damage for sure.
I'm just thinking maybe I know like some wild fae who'd be willing to deliver a message. I mean, a big giant blue crab monster probably has attracted a bit of attention.
So Lloyd kind of gestures for you guys to get up. Like, come on, let's go out into the kitchen and keep talking.
I don't have a problem with. I don't have a problem with this with the strategy of baiting it. I just don't think we should do it at the bank. Like I don't want to track this down. Maybe Michelle could track it down fine, but I'm not much of a tracker.
Lloyd ushers you guys into the kitchen. It's just like, listen, we've got all these hors d'oeuvres. Please eat up. And hands you guys
Michelle
plates.
Does not.
Lloyd eats. So if it's poison he's immune to.
Listen, you're not poison. I just a whole bunch
powder.
Yeah, exactly. He has an immunity.
It's bad form for anybody who deals with the Fae to accept food or any other offerings. So it's
Do you say that or like what?
No, he just sits there and doesn't eat.
Listen, it's fine. I just ate a whole bunch of shrimp, like he said. So,
if he knows anything, because I overheard his voice talking about going to visit the Earl King's
let's keep
people,
it in character.
Right?
Yeah, you do.
No,
yeah.
Okay. So, in my head, Michelle is thinking he knows about fairy, he knows about fae, he knows about fae politics, and he knows that offering somebody food is not, it's not something that's done. So Michelle's not trying to be rude. He just figures that big hulking brute knows better and is just trying to be an ass.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So at this point, Lloyd is actually going to offer you guys, like, is there any specialized equipment that you need to pull off whatever your plan is.
Oh, man.
The flip side to that will be that you are indebted to the Middletons. So yeah.
No.
The equipments that we need. Before I go any further, would Michelle know, Randy, would Michelle know enough Wild Fate to be able to help either deliver a message or track down at least? Because
Dude, you're new in town. You barely know Olwen.
that's true. Oh, they went my plan of getting a pizza from the freezer.
Yeah, Evie is currently here as Samantha, and it would be odd if she started requesting very specialized equipment. So
That's fine.
yeah,
We can always say we'll give you a list of what we need later.
Yeah. So we can take it out of the now and like zoom up scale wise. Like you guys need to figure out what you want to do with this information that you've been given.
yeah.
So yeah, you need to figure that out.
I mean, I already kind of suspected. I mean, the fact that she's a Denarian isn't really a surprise to me. I mean, I kind of expected that from the first moment I fought her.
Well, and I mean, you probably watched Running Fate where I said it too.
Kitty.
I didn't run. I haven't been able to.
That's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
It breaks my heart.
I have team meetings on the alternate Tuesdays.
No, it really doesn't, Ryan. It's fine.
Anyway,
Everybody else enjoys it.
I do.
So,
yeah, it's
so
great.
we can do that. Let's see. You guys need to plan while you guys are planning. I almost hate to do this because like you guys are flush with fate points, so I'm going to have to do something to deplete it at some point. But Evie, I would like to compel you on. Oh, what was it? We never turned it into an aspect, so I'll just use never stops digging.
Okay.
So you have been kind of like obsessed with the with whether or not people from the party have gone missing. Like you've over the course of you guys like plan it like the last couple of days, or sorry, not last couple of days, I guess it would have been the last 24 hours. You've been trying to find out like if anyone has gone missing. You've got that guest list to help confirm like if anyone's gone missing. And all of this stuff, and you actually get a call on your burner cell phone. So this is like the one that you don't give out to people. This is kind of like the one that you use for your super anonymous stuff. And you actually get what is it? It is a text with a link to a website.
Okay.
Whenever you click on the link to go to the website, you see that there is this. What's the person look like? You see this kind of like this hefty looking guy, like probably like approaching like 300 pounds, kind of like tied to a chair. The camera view is such that you can't see like much of the room or anything besides him, but you do see that somebody has a knife and is just kind of like dragging the knife along the person's kind of like cheek. And you see like text appear at the bottom, like almost like closed captioning, that basically says that this individual named Deep Centurion, which you recognize that handle from the Truth, from the organization that you founded, got into Deep, need a meeting with, and what is Evie's handle for the Truth? Like, what's her handle?
Raziel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Need meeting with Raziel. And then a text message appears with an address.
Okay.
And it says you have 24 hours.
To do what?
To meet at the address.
Oh, this is not good. Okay.
Yes, so this is a compel on Never Stop Digging. That basically, like, one of the people who is helping you find out information has gotten into some shit over this, and you've got to fix it.
Yeah,
So,
do.
I mean, it is either Never Stops Digging or Unwilling Founder of the Nebulous Organization, The Truth. It kind of mixes both of them, but it's still a compel.
either of them works. So.
Or we can pay a
it's
fate
both
point,
and I
and
get
who
2
cares?
fate points.
Yeah.
It's both, and I get 2 fate points.
No, that's not how that works.
I think it should work that way.
Oh, well, I'm playing Samantha, so maybe there's like 2 layers of character, so I get 2, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
No,
that's exactly how it works.
I'll take it. It's
That's why I
interesting.
always play an Etten and Fate. All right. So Mallory, you're up to 5 fate points. Man, I don't have a whole lot of rolls.
Rolling deep. Just gonna make it.
Yes. So Evie has 5, Michelle has 3, and Ravi has 3. Doing pretty good.
While we're all eating or
You
not,
gave me mine back.
while we're all eating or not eating the various hors d'oeuvres, and Lloyd decides to go talk to Michelle for a little bit, since he seems like an interesting character.
Oh, this happens after you guys leave the townhouse. This is when you guys are like,
We're
I assume
zooming
that
out.
you guys, I assume that you guys are going to like head back to your ethics section at the library and your ethics headquarters and probably discuss things a little bit more openly instead of like in the estate.
Oh, sure. Okay. Gotcha.
I mean, that's an assumption on my part. If you want, we can like totally like have Lloyd involved, and he'd be happy to talk.
No,
Lloyd. We don't need Lloyd.
No, I was just trying to get around him seeing it, but since we're not there anymore, if we're in my if we're in my layer of solitude, I'll just, after I see this on my phone, I'll just pull it up on my multi-monitored computer, throw it up on one of the bigger screens, and just kind of point to it and say, complication, we need to fix this. I'm not sure how.
And what does it say again?
The text was a link to this live video feed of this individual, this hefty guy tied to a chair, and there was closed caption over top of it that says, deep Centurion got in too deep. Need meeting with what do you say, Raziel?
Mm-hmm.
Raziel, and then there was a text
Soul
message
Reaver
that was sent to Evie with an address.
I'll figure it out, but this might be needing to be dealt with while we're figuring out our plan. I can't let this person get hurt
and
because they're helping me.
And you're asking us for help?
Potentially.
I'm just surprised, actually.
This is a bit more of an interesting situation than I've been in before. None of my none of the people in my network have ever been held at knife point before and threatened on live stream. So this is different. This might be very dangerous, and you seem like all powerful, capable people. Unlike myself, while I am very powerful and capable, I am informationally powerful and capable.
Well, also I feel like Ravi would feel the need to step in anyway. I mean, this seems like somebody that's, in trouble that could use help. So I don't know.
So
I don't think Ravi would say no to that for sure.
Well, you say that that you don't seem powerful and capable. Would Michelle realize the hunter within just trying to get out, or
I doubt it.
that's being super suppressed?
Oh yeah, that's
Okay.
extremely suppressed.
By tattoos of St. Giles.
Yeah, but you don't know that. So
Unless she
Yeah.
hulks out, you don't see the tattoos.
yeah.
Yeah, and the only
So-
time that happened was when she was in the back of the van with Hux, who was unconscious
I just kind of like,
or about unconscious.
little tasty taste. So
Evie got
Nobody
some of
noticed.
his blood. Why can't Michelle?
yeah, maybe one day when
Spit it up,
the-
girl, right here.
when the
Test
player
tube.
is actually here. But this is unfortunate. But regardless, I need to think of a way to deal with this. But in the meantime, how do we want to lure out our Denarian? That's fun.
I mean, Lloyd's
I did
plan
not
wasn't-
realize that's what that was.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as big of a deal as he made it seem. We fight him all the time.
Oh yes, no big deal. Got a badass over here.
That's
love
right.
NBD.
NBD guys,
No
sunglasses.
big deal.
I mean, I actually don't think Lloyd's plan was crazy. I mean, if we made it obvious that we had the book and we're transporting it or something, she would come for it. I think we could control the situation much easier, at a place that wasn't a bank.
I would have to agree. Bank is not very. It's not good. It's too public, and even if they cleared it out,
Well, that would just
Denarians-
arouse suspicion.
Denarians aren't stupid. So
We don't know that yet.
I'm assuming Denarians aren't stupid.
No, they're
as
not
a
stupid.
person.
They're incredibly intelligent.
Okay.
They have 2,000 years an eternity of intelligence, but 2,000 years of being alive on Earth. That's a long time.
Also, I keep forgetting I'm trying to do a character voice for Evie, so I'm gonna keep trying to settle into that.
What's
Because
the
Samantha,
character
Voices are
obviously,
hard.
yes,
Character voices are hard.
I gotta figure one out.
Samantha had a very unique voice.
Yes, I gotta figure one out for Evie.
I found an
I'm
easy
trying
voice.
to think for
Yeah.
obviously,
Rob, I'm not even going to
Heavy
try to do a
accent
voice for
yeah.
Ravi because I think that would just be offensive to anybody that is listening. So just assume.
Okay. Ravi
Sounds
is
good.
assumed.
I feel like we should be able to lure out this Denarian into a more private space. There are lots of
Mhm.
public parks around here. The mall would not be a very smart idea because that's
Do we have
far too public. But
lure it to us, or can we go to it?
We
The
don't know where it
problem-
is.
the problem is finding it. And while
That's not a problem.
obviously
I am the
it's
master hunter,
then hunt. Oh, Master Hunter.
and he disappears.
Well, that was. What the heck?
Bye.
This is what Commissioner Gordon feels like.
Exactly.
And it looked amazingly
Um,
enough like when Hux used Cloak of Shadows.
Except mine was a little bit smoother because I've used it more often than he has.
Does
Well, I
Michelle
guess-
actually just kind of peace out then?
Well,
Did he really
you,
just peace out, like go hunt?
You said go hunt, so we did.
All right. Well, what do we
he
do? Do
has
we
a
just
cell
wait
phone.
here?
He has.
I should probably go home.
No, hold on. Let's try to figure this out.
Go home to your betrothed. She is waiting for you.
Okay, number one, you're not
You're
here.
not there.
Sorry, I said that in
You're
the voice.
gone.
Number two, she's back in that's the reason Robbie left Chicago to begin with. He's not going back home into his betrothed arranged marriage. No, thank you.
Anyways,
All right,
We
I'll
need
Hate
order.
your mother, Ravi.
I don't hate my mother. Let's just order a pizza and figure this out. I'm ordering a pizza.
that's
They're
fine.
going to deliver
Just-
it to the library.
They're delivering it to a location that's outside the library, and you can go pick it up and bring it inside.
That's absolutely right.
Okay. Anyways, even though Michel, being the master hunter that he claims to be, we should probably try to figure out a backup plan.
I agree, but it would be kind of cool if he just found it.
It
Hey,
would.
I've got a +5 against tracking people.
I will
That's pretty
do
good.
my own research, and in the meantime, while you're ordering pizza and thinking, I'd like for you to try to think of some way where you can discreetly help me with this meeting that I'm going to be having.
How discreet? I mean, I could just go as your bodyguard.
Yes, well, I would imagine they want to meet alone, but they also didn't specify. So
I'm very good at not being seen.
I'm
I'm also very good at appearing just when I'm needed. I mean, that's one of the perks of being a Knight of Vishnu, Knight of the Lotus.
That seems more like something that Hux and Michelle are very good at.
No, it's actually out of character. That is actually Ravi's thing. He can just appear out of nowhere when somebody's in trouble.
That's useful.
That's like a thing of the Knights. Like Vishnu positions us where he needs us to be when we're needed. And if this doesn't feel like a holy cause, I don't know what does. I mean, this person's in trouble, regardless of if he did anything wrong. Nobody deserves punishment. That is up to the gods to dole out on us.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about the clock.
It's okay.
Oh, I thought that was like authentic, like music for, like Hindu worship.
No, that's
That's
my grandfather's grandfather clock.
I thought there was music coming. I thought it was like the opening
So your
tones of the song.
great grandfather clock?
Oh,
No,
my God.
it's my grandfather's clock, and it happens to be a grandfather clock owned by my
So it would be a
grandfather.
great grandfather clock. Anyways,
It's just a great
Anywho.
grandfather clock.
Oh my God.
The address
It's an
that I
awesome
got,
On your
clock.
mother's side?
No, my dad.
Okay.
that address that I got, can I pull that up on a non-branded, so we don't get another unofficial sponsor, Maps app, so I can see where this is?
Sure.
Bing
So,
Maps?
so Maps with a Z app launches.
Maps.
Yes.
Goggle
For those who live in
Maps.
Ohio and Pennsylvania, it is the Sheets version of Maps. Maps.
Sorry,
I get it.
not just Pennsylvania, but
Pennsylvania and
specifically
Ohio.
Altoona and West.
Yeah, and into Ohio too.
Yeah, we got
Yeah,
sheets
well,
around
that's
here.
West. Altoona and
Cambridge,
West.
Ohio is the last one west because we would always stop there when we were driving back from Pennsylvania to Indianapolis.
We saw some sheets. We were like, what is this?
This is
Go.
so random.
It's amazing.
But while we were in Florida,
I
there
want
were
hot dogs now.
Wawas, and I was like, "Why are there Wawas here? This is a Philadelphia thing.
I don't even know what a Wawa is.
It's a
Is that like
Philadelphia
a whoopie
sheets.
pie?
It doesn't sound super appropriate.
It's the Indian name for it. It doesn't
Oh,
matter. You can look it up. It's all on Google. It's all on Wikipedia.
You want super inappropriate? Piggly Wiggly being a grocery chain.
Yeah, that's weird too.
Yeah, all right.
I'm gonna go down to the Piggly Wiggly.
No, I'm gonna go down to the pig.
Okay.
That's still weird. All right.
No.
And the pig was right across the street from where I used to live.
Anyways,
which
where does Maps show where
Maps.
this address is? Yeah.
It is actually an old and expensive part of DC. And it is the business that's located there is called Ubera. I'm going to go ahead and put that into the chat for the spelling so that you can Ubeera, Ubera. And basically this is a spa/plastic surgery clinic.
Interesting.
Sounds like an episode of Nip Tuck.
Yeah. I love that show.
A new approach, Botox.
Yes, my new stunt is Botox.
I'm going to attack you with my giant lips.
That would be lip filler. That's not the same thing.
Forgive my ignorance. Look at me. Do I look like I get plastic surgery?
Ignorance is bliss, Randy. Ignorance is bliss.
Anyways, can I do some looking into this? What's the name of this place? Ubera.
Absolutely.
Like, what's their website pull up?
Sure. Basically, just more information about being a spa plastic surgery clinic.
Okay.
I imagine that you're going to do a little bit more research than that.
Yes.
So I'm
like,
gonna
there's
call
no
for-
secret. There's no secret. Like back end deep web looking kind of thing. Like you click on some links, all of a sudden you're taken to like the secret Ubera.
Well, I think that's part of this dice roll, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So like maybe that's
Yeah.
a little bit of something like that. So I'm gonna
Okay,
set the
okay.
overcome difficulty at 4.
Mhm.
Because it's supposed to be difficult, and it sounds like Evie is using intellect.
Yes,
'Cause
yes.
you're doing computery stuff.
I am doing computery things.
So yes. So go ahead and give me a roll. So against a difficulty of 4, you got a 2.
I'm gonna spend
Womp
a
womp.
fate.
Yeah,
point.
use those fate points.
Yeah, I am
You're flush.
rolling deep in the fate
All right, you're
points.
down to 4 fate points now. That
I'm
takes
gonna
you to a
use-
tie.
No firewall can stop me.
No firewall can stop me.
Yes. I feel like that's appropriate. I'm using
Yes.
technology.
I think so.
Yep, that sounds good. And that's a tie, so that's a success at a minor cost.
That's fine.
Okay. Let's see, what should the minor cost be?
I would like it to be established that anytime Evie uses any kind of internet for anything, it is through a VPN. So it cannot be related to So no tracking.
Well, I mean, come on, you can't just say no tracking, because sometimes you fail rolls and maybe they're smarter than you.
True.
But it is a minor cost.
I might not get all the information that I want.
Let's see.
How about
Oh, I know exactly what it can be.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you all of the information, and then you're going to blow the fuse for the ethics quarters that you guys have for your headquarters, and then you will have to make an overcome roll to fix it.
Okay.
Someone will have to do that.
That's fine.
But
I do have a
This thing
backup.
good-
I do have a backup generator just for my computer because
Well, that could be our
that can't
overcome
turn
roll.
off. But
yeah, but I mean, so your computer will work, but it won't access the internet. Like,
yeah,
you know,
it's just like it's
so-
just on because I don't want it to like. I don't want bad things to happen to my computer. A lot of
when the
important
glow of
things
that
are
light
there.
goes out, you're just like, it's like.
I'm alone with the haunted spirits that are in this room. So
Well, I'm still here.
normally
spirit.
I'm alone with the haunted.
I am the haunted spirit.
That's
I
part of
have
Ruby's
listening to music.
background. She doesn't know yet.
I have this idea that like this just image that Evie just like forgets that Robbie's there and starts talking to herself and like just basically thinks she's alone.
Yeah,
And like
that could
Robbie's just sitting on the couch like this is weird to watch.
I think that would definitely be the case because at some point, Evie would probably forget, stick on her headphones, do her thing on the computer, and just start talking to herself like I do when I'm alone. So
There you go.
I wonder how long Robbie would answer before he realizes that you have no idea he's even there.
like I'm just asking questions and like yelling at the computer, like trying to get it to do things, and Robbie's trying to help, but I can't actually hear you.
All right. So so you managed to do some research. You don't find any dark web links on the website itself, like, like hacker elite click here or anything like that. But you're able to do some research on the building and whatnot. And you do tie the Ubera building to a ring of ladies and gentlemen of the night. It is apparently like one of the like go-to locations for some of the women of the night in the DC area.
Okay.
And I set the difficulty at 4. And you so
It doesn't have any vampire connections, does it?
Well, I'll offer you this.
Okay.
I will tell you who is behind it. I can either not tell you who's behind it as part of the success at a minor cost, or I can have the power go out as the minor cost. So
No, I want to know who's behind it.
Yeah,
Okay,
power
so then
going
the
out
power
is
go- that's fine.
is
that's what I would pick as a player too. But I just
Yeah.
thought that I'd offer in case you guys wanted to like make your life more difficult. It's the Wraith family.
Okay, that figures.
of course it is.
Yeah, session 0. You guys said you wanted them involved.
Yeah.
That was my fault.
Whoops.
Now we're paying for it.
Sucker.
Hey, anything to make your life more miserable in game.
That's what I like to do. I like to make it suck.
I just said, like, while I'm looking, I just say Wraith. They're always involved in everything, and then the power goes out.
Oh, that was not ominous at all.
Man, not again.
What is happening? I'm still here now. I'm in the dark. Where's the flashlight?
I just start looking around.
Here's your cell phone, dude.
I have my cell phone. I'll use it as a flashlight.
I grab a flashlight next, like on top of the pile of like books I have stacked under my desk.
I'm like,
and I look back. I see Robbie there in the blue glow of the monitors. I
surprise!
say, "Oh yeah, that's right. You're still here." And I toss him
slice the pizza half out of my mouth.
I toss him the flashlight. If you go around the bend, go into that room that doesn't smell very good. You kind of got to wade through a little bit of the trash.
What?
I'll give him instructions on the order of the breakers that he has to flip.
So are these like the modern day breakers, or are they old school screw-in breakers?
I'm sure they're old.
Oh,
nice.
All right. Well, I don't know the first thing about this, but
put a penny in there. That's all I know.
I'm gonna listen to what Evie will give me instruction, and then I'm gonna have to follow it. Is that an overcome roll?
It's gonna be an overcome roll. I'm
with what?
Yeah, I'm determining which approach seems to make the most sense.
I would say intellect.
I'd say careful.
Or focus.
Focus.
Careful. Yes. Focus seems to be the one. Time-consuming action in which a close attention is paid to detail, so the task is properly executed on the first attempt. I think it's focus.
Okay, focus.
I mean, if you'd like to use something else, you can. But
no, it's okay. It's only a 1 die difference, or 1 pip difference anyway. So
all right, I'm going to set the difficulty for this at because you have to navigate like all of the trash in the trash room and follow her instructions. I'm going to set the difficulty for this at say a 4.
Holy cow!
Because there's
good luck.
No, I'll make it a 3. Sorry, I'll make it a 3.
I'm gonna go get another 5. Fingers crossed. What?
Ooh, wow! 4 pluses.
Why am I wasting my best rolls on
that's like
navigating a trash pit?
No, less than 2% chance to roll 4 pluses.
I know.
I'm so glad you're wasting it here instead of on the
exactly.
dinner.
Wow, that was awesome. I'm gonna roll -4, all minuses during my fight, but man, I really navigated that trash pit.
Yeah, you got that. You managed to get the lights back on, no problem.
Man, I really got those lights back on. Awesome.
I'd say there'd be like an aspect on that breaker that says resilient.
Yeah, I fixed that thing so good, it's now green.
That is success with cost, or success at success with style. That's the word that I'm looking for.
Success at a cost.
Yeah.
Success with style.
Let's see. You know what? I am going to actually, what I'd like to do for that is success with a style. I'm going to add a free invoke on always hiding behind a book, because like being able to follow instructions and having read like as much as you have, I'm going to give you a free invoke on always hiding behind a book, because your book learning helped you like actually like do something in the real world application, and you're feeling pretty heartened by that.
I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Yeah. I think that sounds like a nice flavorful boon there. I'm going to add the tag to it in Trello to mark that it's got a free invoke on it. Okay. Let's see. All right. So we've got a couple of options for the remainder of tonight's game. We can do a couple of different things because we typically wrap up at about 10:30. We can plan what you guys want to do about the Denarian, but I have a feeling that that's probably going to be better for us to do actually in between game sessions. Plan it a little bit and then summarize like whenever we get back on the show. Because I think that'll like listening to players negotiate that. Nah. The other thing that we could do is that we could follow up on what's going on with Evie. Go to the Ubera building and see what's happening there. Or we can call it here and follow up in the next game with what's going on. Or we can do a side trip to Dunkin' Donuts. I mean, whatever you guys would like to do.
Well, we need to see how successful Michelle's tracking is before we can really plan anything. So can we take care of that now?
Well, part of that is that I'm not prepared for him to track the Denarian.
Okay.
So I don't have anything good for that.
Okay.
So that's why, yeah.
Okay. We'll just come up with multiple plans.
Just say that I succeeded because I've got a +5, you know.
There you go. That's what the Wild Fey approach?
No, I've got a +3 when being sneaky and then a +2 when tracking people.
Nice.
I mean, if I wanted to use the Wild Fey approach, then that would be, 5 unchecked boxes +2 for tracking, so it would be a 7.
Okay. Very nice. And I will be prepared for that next time.
Yeah. Just to know, this is the one time I can throw big numbers.
Hey, no problem. And I want to make sure that you're able to get good things out of like what you've pumped your character up to be able to do. So
I always go for the one who can track things, and no GM ever has me track anything. I'm like, but I want to track something. So thank you, Randy, for letting me track something.
That's why I GM. I want to make sure that you're able to do the things that you want your characters to do. And sometimes I don't realize you want them to do it, and I don't prepare for it. And I say like, hey, so what do you guys want to do?
We want to track things. Not today.
That sounds great. Let's do it in 2 weeks. So what would you guys like to do?
Well, I do have an idea for how I want to deal with the Ubera thing. But if we do want to stop here, that's fine.
I think now it's a good stopping point. So next time Hux can show back up and I can take his blood.
Sounds great. Because I had some things I wanted to do to Hux, so that'll be great.
Yeah, and we could see what Hux has been doing since he went missing at the mansion.
He's mostly been hanging out with you guys and just being quiet.
Well, I think it'd be a fun side story just to see like why Hux disappeared from the mansion. So
there you go.
Yeah, I imagine that we will get a flashback of what he was doing before he met back up with us. Because there's something interesting there.
Yeah, might as well turn it into something useful. So
this is true. This is true. All right, so we're going to do our usual wrap up, and I would like somebody to say something that they enjoyed or didn't enjoy about tonight's session. Whenever anybody's ready, you can go ahead and just shout it.
I think we enjoyed. Sorry.
No, ladies first.
Okay. The one time it's useful. I like how we bounced around really well, I think, between everybody.
Yeah.
I think we had a pretty equal spread of stuff.
I liked listening to Randy talk to himself.
That was pretty funny. The whole conversation.
And I love NPCs talking to each other.
There was enough differentiation between the two characters that you could tell when you were switching. So it wasn't just like monotone. You actually had voices for the characters.
I'm trying to work on my character
getting to know the
voices.
NPCs.
Yeah.
And just like I said last time we played, I still feel like our in-character banter is getting better as we grow more comfortable with our characters. It was a lot of fun. I feel like there was a good flow.
Awesome.
Sine wave.
So my thing is, it's not a bad thing, but it's something that I want to, I'm going to follow up with. But I think that now that we've nested in our characters a little bit, I think that between now and maybe the next game, I'd like to take a fresh look at aspects that everybody has. Because I think that there are some that are kind of sitting fallow, and there are other ones that could be maybe a little bit more fleshed out a little bit more. Like, for instance, we've got Michelle, which is like novice. Now we've got this whole connection with like Olwen. Maybe we can flesh that out to make it a little bit more interesting to put him in like the pecking order of a thing. Ravi, like your what is it? The non-traditional traditionalist.
It doesn't get used a whole lot.
No, but it feels like if it was family conflict, like that would be amazing.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I can
or
see that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a generally negative thing, but just something like turning it like it's always been about your family, but turning it into something that is like more like about your family. It could be like family connections and conflicts. Because then like you've got like a benefit of your big extended family, but then that brings with it a lot of conflict.
I like that.
So, and then Evie, so far yours have been pretty good. I think tonight we've brought in Unwilling Founder of the Truth. We brought that in. I don't know that I've got any specific like. I think that all of your aspects are kind of working as is, but if you want to put fresh eyes, like I think Disgusted by Her Hunger maybe needs to be workshopped a little bit because that trouble isn't really being too much of a trouble yet.
I don't know.
And I mean, like part of that's on me for sure.
Yeah. I mean, like we can't work in
about.
everything.
There hasn't been a lot of bloodshed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like it might turn into a big thing. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend changing it, but it's just something I'm thinking about.
Yeah. The tattoos haven't come up a whole lot yet, but I imagine we'll probably do something with that eventually. So
yeah, it's almost as if maybe the next session there might be a conflict.
Who knows?
Like, I don't know. With a giant blue crab, maybe.
Maybe.
Or maybe not quite so giant,
Mm-hmm.
Equal opportunity crab employer.
Yeah.
We'll see how
maybe
it goes.
it's a social conflict.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, cool. So with that...
Hey, I can lie with the best of them.
There you go. All right, let's say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.